Hey guys, I hope everyone is doing absolutely amazing. I am going to do a different type of reading tonight. Okay. I am going to do a um, should you stay or should you go reading. I'm not going to do it. I will get clarifiers if I need to, but I'm going to do it with situational cards. Um, they're the Oracle decks that I have, and then I'm going to get some. I probably will get some advice cards for you following, and then we'll see what else, because you never know around here. Okay, so let's start with this one. We'll start with, should the collective stay in the current situation? Now remember, a couple things. You could be in separation, waiting for someone. You could be already with someone, but having a rough time. You could be married. You could be whatever. You could be starting to date someone, but you're kind of seeing some red flags. So again, not all tarot readings are for you. If it does not sound like your situation, it's not for you. It's for a different collective. So just bear that in mind, okay? Because this is a collective reading, not one-on-one. Although if you want one of those, hit me up in my DM or my email, depending on where you're watching from. So let's get started. Okay. If the collective, okay. Sorry guys. You know what? I am actually being called to a couple of different decks. I shuffled that one at first, but I don't feel like it's what I need to use. In fact, let's see. I'm going to play it by ear, like I always do. All right, guys. Yeah, there's a timer for confirmation. Okay. If the collective stays in the situation that they are presently in, what can they expect in the future? Silly games and secrets, guys. But I'll explain these things. I'm going to get a few more cards, okay? I'm going to get a few more cards in reference. If the collective, if the collective stays in the situation, okay. Ooh, guys, so that's a real clear cut, weird message, but okay. Bear with me. Huh. Got a lot of messages instantly coming through. I'm going to, before I even pull for the next, should they go. So, I have to say, couple of things. Some of you are already married, right? For some of you, your partner or your person has put you in a third party situation. They are married. That's going to be for some of you. It's not going to be for everyone, but there are secrets. Someone is keeping things a secret. Okay. They're private. If there's just like, if it feels like they are hiding things, they probably are. If you are the one that is married to this person, my suggestion would be to start looking around and doing your research. It's talking about silly games, playing it cool to win, testing the waters, harmless games, hiding true feelings, intentions, learning to be vulnerable. But then we have secrets, mystery, private, unrevealed information, hidden. Okay, so this might put a spin on things for some of you. For some of you, if you are married, you need to look at the third party. Or if you're just starting to date this person and you don't know much about them, you need to look into the fact that possibly they have put you in a third party situation. For those of you dating, for those of you married, need to look in to see what's going on. Now, for those of you who know that your person is not in any type of a committed relationship. Maybe they're secretive, maybe the third party, or there could be outside interference, influences, right? It could be a parent. It could be very well a job. It could be things of that nature that are kind of putting a stop and a halt on your situation. I don't feel for very many of you. Now, maybe for some of you, this has just been really weird and the person has had a hard time, getting vulnerable with you and they've been somewhat secretive. Maybe it didn't start out right. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, this is going to be for a very, very sparse amount of you. Marriage could be indicated for you because this person may be really just trying to figure out how to grow up. Okay. You may have had to put a stop to the behaviors and, said enough is enough. And this person does grow up and learns, what it is to get it together, and you wind up getting married. Okay. Engaged, having a union, what have you. But for the vast majority, this love is not for you. Move on. It's toxic. You're incompatible, blocked for your own good, walking away, surrendering. I mean, again, you got to think, some of you are already married, some of you are just dating, some of you, are in a situationship. I mean, it's just going to be very different for each of you. So there you go for that one. So let's look at, okay, let's look at if you were to walk away. Okay, let's see what's next for you if you are to walk away from this situation that you're currently in now. Tell me what the collective can expect should they decide to walk away from their situation as it stands. Tell me what the collective can expect if they walk away from the situation at hand. For some of you, you're going to gain great peace, right? But you can have some realizations, put up boundaries. You might call someone's bluff, and they may have an epiphany and realize you are the one. But you're drawing a line. You're saying enough is enough. And you're learning boundaries, okay? Expecting faith and manifesting. Peace, balance, harmony, friendships, boundaries, no, drawing the line, enough. Realizations, epiphanies, understandings, and awakenings. Couple of things. For a few of you, you may leave this all alone, this up here, and this person may have a realization, and you may say no. You may say enough's enough. I'm drawing the line. No, I don't want you anymore. I'm good. I'm moving on. Okay? Because this person could have been pretending. Watch out for people, but you could also be, they may think you're bluffing. Watch out for people pretending, putting on the mask or an exaggeration. But I see peace, twin flame. You may very well meet your twin flame. That is a really freaking hard journey. Interesting. Okay. And have a family, fertility, parenthood, and pregnancy. Okay. Here we go. So I can tell you really clearly that I'm going to get one more card because I'm feeling like it is kind of naked right there. And I want one more. Just one more. One more for the collective, please. One more. If the collective walks away, what can they expect? Just one more card, please. I'm going to take that one, whatever it is. Nourish. Self-growth. self-focused, soul finding. Soul finding. Okay. So the thing about it is with twin flames, no one can tell you what your journey is, right? But I can tell you from experience that a twin flame journey is a very difficult journey and they do not always end up in union. Okay. Um, there's a lot of pretending. There's a lot of mask wearing. There's a lot of drama typically. Um, yes, you can wind up learning enough about yourself and drawing your boundaries with this twin who usually puts you through a crap load of stuff. But honestly, self-growth happens. You become self-focused. You become a higher version of yourself, honestly. So while it is a struggle of a relationship, it catalyzes change in both of you, and it's awesome. It's freaking amazing. It really, really genuinely is. So even, this is suggesting family and union, a twin flame union. Okay, but it may take some time to get there is what I'm also being very much called to say. So, but there could be pregnancy, family, parenthood, having a family with this person, somebody that you're very close to, very close with, that you guys have awakenings together and you guys just learn all about your soul. And you have peace, you find balance and harmony if you walk away. So that's what I have for you guys tonight. And hopefully that was helpful. It was very short, but it was pretty directed to the point. I wasn't sure, how the spirit was going to come across in, using situational cards. But yeah, it seemed to come out pretty well. I'm pretty happy with it. And I hope you guys have been. Oh, sorry. I told you that I would get you some. I said that I would get some, advice cards for you. Okay? I'm going to get advice cards for up here and then advice cards for this situation as well. So I'm going to use the Green Witches Oracle deck. Right, and the Green Witches is going to be for if you stick around the current situation, which seems pretty iffy to me, honestly. But honestly, sometimes with this Twin Flame card here, I can really, 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 really tell you that a lot of that stuff may apply to a Twin Flame situation, and this could be the end result of that. Walking away from that walking away from a cycle to return to something that is just absolutely amazing within the same, different cycle for sure. You put a close to a cycle, but not the whole book. You move on to a different chapter with the same person. So that's another translation that I'm getting really strongly, that person could actually wind up being the one to nourish you, you having peace with, finding, when you do come to some realizations. But if that is the case, it could take some time. It's not an overnight process. Yeah. So I was being called to say that for some of you who are on the twin flame journey, it could be one and the same if you're already on the journey. All right. Can I have some advice? Let me take the bottom, put it on the top. Okay. Can I have advice for the collective if they stay in their present situation? May I have advice for the collective should they stay in their present situation? Advice for the collective. Nope, not yet. Advice for the collective if they stay in their present situation, please. I'm feeling called to take this guy. It's sticking out. All right, take whatever that is. I'm gonna look for that. We're gonna go with Moonology. All right, and top to the bottom. Again. All right. If the collective moves on, may I have advice for the collective should they decide to move on from that situation? Okay. Crap. All right. Sorry, guys. Just going over this because you can't see the cards. We have twin flame, mirroring, shared feelings, reflections. We have nourish, self-growth, self-focused, soul-finding, boundaries, no, drawing the line, enough. This is about learning your worth here, guys, too. Realizations, epiphanies, understandings, and awakenings, family, fertility, parenthood, pregnancy. Peace, balance, harmony, friendship, hoping, expecting, faith, and manifesting. Bluff, pretending, mask, exaggeration. All right. If the collective moves on, may I have one piece of advice for the or two? Conclusions are within reach with a full moon eclipse, and don't let your past hold you back. South Node. Whatever your South Node is, I need you, and this is obviously going to be very personal to each one of you. Go to Astrology Cafe and .com and do your birth chart and figure out what your South Node is in, okay? Whatever it suggests your South Node is talking about your past. And that is what you were here to overcome. Your North Node is where you should be headed. And the South Node is what you should recover from. Like it could be past life. It could be your past in this life. But it's something that you need to work on in this lifetime, if that makes sense. So don't let your past hold you back with the South Node. Figure out what your South Node is. I'm going to go ahead and read if you're to walk away, don't let that past person hold you back. If for those of you who are not on a twin flame journey and you are walking away into another, into freedom and another situation with someone else, don't let that past person hold you back. And that is South Node. Glasses, so I can actually see what I'm doing. 1717 as I look up. That could be significant for someone. The South Node, like the North Node, is a karmic point, but it's opposite to the North Node and relates to the past, perhaps even to past lives. Whatever you're going through and whatever you're asking about, there's a chance that age-old programming and conditioning is stopping you from achieving all that you might. Okay, and again, this twin flame card, whether you're going through that journey or not, twin flame, this will draw up so much crap in you that you need to work on, right? This journey will draw up junk that you have to work on to get over the hump and to move up into a higher timeline. So even if you're not feeling like you're on a twin flame journey, you haven't met your twin flame, whatever, you don't have a twin flame, whatever that is, still, this person or situations that you will encounter if you walk away will draw up the stuff that you need to work on. So look for that and work on it. Do you feel stuck in something? This card often comes as a sign that the situation or relationship you're asking about has somehow become suffocating or even toxic. It suggests that's the past. Remember, we're talking about the past. It suggests that someone, you even, needs to be released and that there's some kind of addiction or an unhealthy attachment that needs to be sorted out. One thing is for sure, when you get this card, you're being challenged to make some changes, even if staying where you are feels easier and safer. Okay, so getting out of your comfort zones is what it's talking about, really. Oh, weird. Another twin flame reference. It says the relationship is karmic and is played out across many lifetimes. Now, karmic does not mean that it's necessarily a karmic relationship, because a twin flame journey can also be karmic in nature, in cycles. It's not overall. It catalyzes change, and those cycles should shut eventually and become either you walk away and you're done, or you come to union, one or the other, because you've both made the decisions to heal. Okay? Your attraction to someone may be verging on the obsessive. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. The South Node is where the moon crosses the ecliptic, going south. On the horoscope chart, it shows us what we are likely to become obsessed with. But but which we will probably do. It'll probably do us a little good. The South Node is a karmic astrological point that reminds us of a well-known phrase: if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. Don't take, another thing I'm being called to say is, do not take this crap from up here, from this past, what you've walked away from, interfere with what you are starting new. That's big time what I'm being called to say. Okay? Because if you enter it and you deal with it the way that you dealt with this, you're going to get the same result. It's like insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Okay, so we've got the full moon eclipse and let's see. Sorry, guys. All right, conclusions are within reach. And just like that, a door slams shut. If you pulled this card, it suggests the situation you're asking about is about to reach a peak or has just done so, and things are now out of your hands. What you're experiencing now is what your soul signed up for, a way for you to learn. This is a big learning journey. I mean, this is a big metamorphosis right here, is what I'm feeling called to say. This is a metamorphosis. Like, butterflies could be very important to you, rainbows. There's none of these on these cards. This is just what I'm, lotus flowers, roses, white roses. Mm. So allow events to unfold and be easy on yourself. If you're letting go of someone or something, know that it's the right time, as hard as it may be. Forgiving someone for what they did could be key to resolving the situation in a positive way. It doesn't make right what they did, but it releases it so you can move on. Make sure, I'm going to say another thing here. Make sure that you have healed and moved on from this thing before you move into this thing, because again, this is warning you. The advice is to take your time to heal yourself before you enter into anything else, because you're going to drag all the nonsense from the past into this new beautiful, family, peace. Don't let that corrupt this. Okay? Do your healing. Do your work. Seed control and let events unfold. Meditation, pranayama, and yoga nidra are recommended now. Forgiveness will set you free of karma. It's time for you to get back on track. Okay? Forgiving someone for what they did. Okay, I think I already read that. Full moons are nearly always about climaxes and often conclusions. Full moon eclipses are the same, but on steroids. A full moon eclipse can be hard to handle because it portends change, something many of us are uncomfortable with. But this twin flame, it's all about change. You can't go through a twin flame journey without changing at all. I have, a year and a half ago, you wouldn't know me at all. I have changed enormously and completely and positively on this journey, for sure. And I've come into myself and I've learned what, my boundaries are. And I'm still, of course you have a soft spot for your twin, but it's kind of like, at some point you're like, no, enough's enough. It says, full moon eclipses can also give us a glimpse into what Carl Jung called the shadow self. Work with your darkness. Heal over here. Do your healing, because you're going to have something peaceful, beautiful, hopeful, wonderful, realization, self-growth, and a family and peace. If you do the work, that is the recommendation and the advice here. If you are to stay stuck up here, and I say stuck, harvest, determination, and hard work. I'm seeing toil and trouble over here. Okay. But harvest, something comes of a harvest. That's food, Harvest. Harvest time means hard work. It's time to reap the results of sowing and tending. And that usually means a lot of effort concentrated in a short period of time. This time can be as exhausting as when you sowed your seeds, but it's a necessary part of a successful growing season. You're going to be putting in a ton of work up here. not work from yourself necessarily. It could be this relationship, whatever the hell this is, it might be overwhelming, the amount of work that it's going to take to make it work. It's important to appreciate yourself, but don't lose your way. The Harvest card directs you to collect your bounty, to recognize your blessings, but not to stop working too early. You're almost there, but you will have to see things through. Work to recoup the energy you previously invested. It's going to be exhausting. It is. And it could be worth it, but exhausting. But it also says, stop. This love is not for you. Move on. Toxic, incompatible. So unless you are willing up here also to do the healing work that it's going to take to rectify whatever the hell this busyness is up here, yeah, that might not be, I mean, self-work. I see a family. I see marriage here. So there could be, it could go, like I said, for some of you, it's going to be one and the same. It's going to be a twin flame that's put you through some nonsense because it feels very twin flamey. But for others of you, you're being called to stop up here. It's toxic. And unless you're really willing to put in, and the other person too, because you can't do the work by yourself, because you could be in it to win it all day long. And if someone else is not on board with you, then it's just not going to happen. It's not a positive thing. It's not a winning, you're not on a winning team. So that said, guys, that's all I've got for you. Hopefully this was helpful a little bit. And there you go. Have a good day. Bye.